people fail to moisturize the skin. Like, you can't do that, you know? Hey guys, welcome back. I'm LJ if you're new here. So today's video is going to be a tutorial video. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys common makeup mistakes that I was guilty of. Okay, I can say that I've made so many of these mistakes recently, and I've just come to realize that some of these things can be easily avoided. So on one half of my face, I'll be demonstrating to you guys the common makeup mistakes, and then on this half of my face, I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to avoid them so you can apply your makeup flawlessly. So if you're interested, go ahead and grab some makeup and maybe take some notes to implement some of the tips I'll be sharing with you guys. So if you're interested, let's get into it.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'. Welcome to our YouTube.
So before we get started with the video, I do want to point out the fact that we are almost at 30K subscribers. Y'all, like, I'm just so honored to have you guys, and just watching my content and you guys commenting and saying that you love my videos, it just encourages me, and I would not be here if it was not for y'all. Okay, so I'll be hosting a giveaway on my Instagram every week starting next week, so definitely check the comment section down below. I've pinned the comment and I'll leave information about the giveaway and how you can sign up, and like I mentioned, it's going to be a lot of different giveaways every week, so stay tuned for that. All right, so we're going to start off with the first mistake. So this is something that I used to do a long time ago, and I came to realize that I cannot skip this step. So the first thing that I usually realize is people fail to moisturize the skin. Like, you can't do that, you know? So I literally used to never moisturize my skin. I used to just jump right into primer after even like cleansing, and I realized that my makeup would like oxidize, it would be absorbed by my skin, and it would just like stick and lay on my pores. So even if you're doing like a super natural makeup look, you definitely want to make sure that you're moisturizing your skin. So you want to use your favorite moisturizer. Use a type of moisturizer that is good for your skin or that caters to your specific skin types, because there's so many different moisturizers out there. So the type of moisturizer you use will depend on your skin type. Even if you have oily skin, you definitely want to make sure that you're moisturizing your skin before applying makeup. So on this side of my face, I'm not going to moisturize. I'm just going to jump right into primer. And on this half of my face, I'm going to use my favorite moisturizer, which is this Fresh Deep Hydration face cream. So I really like this because it's an oil-free moisturizer. It locks in moisture all throughout the day and prevents my makeup from being absorbed by my skin. So next I'm going to use a primer. I feel like this is also another mistake that people make, is they forget to prime their skin. And I've talked about primers so many times on my channel and how important it is. So if you're not using primer, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to help you. I'm sorry, but can't really help you if you're not using primer. So you definitely want to make sure you're priming your skin because it protects your skin. So I'm going to use this Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Primer. Alright, so we're going to move on to mistake number 2. So mistake number 2 is applying foundation directly on the applicator. I used to do this all the time because I used to watch videos on Instagram and YouTube seeing people doing it. But if you do that, when you think about it, why would you apply the foundation on the applicator instead of your skin? When you place the foundation on the applicator, such as a beauty sponge or a brush, that will be absorbed by the beauty blender more than it will be placed on your skin. If you apply the foundation directly on the applicator and put it on your skin, it will make your foundation appear very patchy and it will cause your pores to get clogged. So you definitely don't want that. Instead, you want to apply one pump all throughout your skin and blend it out with a damp beauty blender, or you can use a brush. Make sure your beauty blender is damp and does not have any water running through it, or all your foundation will be absorbed by your sponge. If you're using a brush and you have dry skin, try spraying the foundation brush with a hydrating setting spray and blend out the foundation. That way you get a flawless looking blend and your pores won't clog up because you're moisturizing and you've applied the right amount of foundation. So as you can see, this side looks more blended and it looks more like my skin. On this side, you can kind of see a little bit of patchiness around this area right here and around this area. So you definitely want to make sure that you're placing the foundation all over so you can get a flawless and completely blended look. All right, so mistake number 3 is applying concealer all over your under eye and your forehead. So I was definitely one of those who used to always do this, like apply concealer all over my under eye. This was a trend that used to happen like years ago, where applying concealer all over your under eye in a triangular shape was the ideal way of applying concealer. But I've come to discover that that's just like way too much concealer. Concealer is really just meant to cover up discoloration, dark marks, bags, wrinkles, hyperpigmentation, and it also is supposed to give your skin like that highlighted look. Instead of applying concealer all over your under eye in a triangular shape, focus on only the areas where you need it the most, which is around the inner corner and the outer part of your eye. You can place a small amount in the middle. However, if you place too much, it will start creasing up on you, which you don't want. You also don't want to place the concealer around your nose area, especially if your nostrils form a crease around them like mine do. So applying concealer like this keeps your under eye looking fresh and also covers up discoloration around your eye compared to the other side that just leaves a very cakey and crease looking finish, which you don't want. All right, so mistake number 4 is applying your makeup in bad lighting. So maybe like using like your bathroom lighting or like your vanity lighting. Sometimes it's important to remember that the lighting that we're using determines how our makeup looks like at the moment. Instead of using bathroom lighting while doing your makeup, try using natural lighting, because that will determine what your makeup will look like when you walk out the door and you go outside, or when you're in the house with natural lighting. It definitely gives you a more accurate reflection of what your skin will actually look like. If you don't have natural lighting, you can use LED lights, such as like a ring light, anything that mimics the color of natural lighting. All right, so moving on to number 5. So mistake number 5 is wearing the wrong contour shade. I think the most common mistake when it comes to contour is wearing a shade that's either too ashy for you or wearing a contour shade that's just way too dark for you. When it comes to contouring, I feel like there aren't much options for darker skin tones except foundation sticks or concealers. So to select the right contour shade, make sure that the contour is 2 to 3 shades darker than your skin tone. If you go way too dark, it's not gonna look right. And also, depending on your skin type, you also want to select a contour shade that is your undertone so that it matches your skin tone and your undertone. So instead of using this type of contour that is just too dark and too ashy on my skin tone, I'm gonna go in with this Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick in the shade Earth. So this foundation stick is very close to my skin tone. I would say it's like 3 shades darker than my skin tone. It's very soft. It's definitely not full coverage, so it's not going to be too sharp on my skin. You wanna contour your skin based on the shape of your face. So if you have a round face, you definitely want to go for a more softer, rounder contour. If you have very sharp features, such as a jawline that is very intense and shows a lot, you want to place the contour right there. If you have high cheekbones and really sharp cheekbones, then you definitely want to apply a little bit more contour than somebody without high cheekbones would apply. And then you always want to contour your forehead, especially if you have like a huge forehead like your girl, okay? So as you can see, this side it just looks super ashy and it looks way too dark. And on this side, it blends more with my skin tone. It definitely gives me a nice warmth onto my skin. It brings back the color of my skin and it's a little bit more softer and not too much. All right, so the next mistake, which is mistake number 6, is not properly setting your skin. I've already done a video on how to properly set your skin so you can get a flawless finish and your under eyes won't be too dry. But I still think it's a common makeup mistake that a lot of people struggle with. So I think the whole idea of baking under your eye just makes your eyes very, very, very dry. I personally don't think you need to bake your under eyes. I feel like you can set and finish your skin just right then and there. If anything, I think baking makes your under eyes extremely dry, especially when you're using a matte setting powder. Instead of applying a lot of setting powder under your eyes and waiting for the powder to bake, you want to use a damp beauty blender, specifically the one that you use for the concealer. So first you want to use the damp beauty blender and blend out the concealer just a little bit to get rid of the creasing, and then immediately after that you want to place a small amount of setting powder on the tip of the sponge and press the powder right where you apply the concealer. You want to press it until the powder has completely blended out and gives you a flawless finish. You also want to use a setting powder that matches your skin. So I like setting powders that have that yellow undertone or that warmth in them. If you apply setting powder and you wonder why your makeup looks ashy, washed out, especially when you're taking pictures with flash, you probably shouldn't be using a translucent powder or a powder that's way too light for your skin. Opt for powders that match your skin tone. So for melanated skin tones, I like using powders that are much deeper, such as the Anastasia setting powder in the shade Deep Peach. This one is perfect, has a yellow undertone. Another setting powder is the Black Opal Deluxe Finishing Setting powder in the shade Medium. So I also think this one is perfect if you're of my skin tone or even a bit darker or lighter. And then lastly, I recently tried the setting powder out and I absolutely love the shade. It's the Makeup Forever Ultra HD setting powder. This is in the shade Tan Neutral. So it gives a really neutral look, but it's still tan. It gives you a little bit of warmth and it matches the skin really well. All right, so mistake number 7 and 8 all relate to the lips. So number 7 is not properly lining your lips. This is something I struggled with a lot. The way I would line my lips would definitely form the shape of my face. So you want to make sure that when you are lining your lips, you want to line your lips with the shape of your lips. If you overline them too much, they'll look fake, like it will look like you overlined your lips. And if you don't overline them, then your lips will look really small. If you want to have small lips, that's cool. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but just remember that when you are lining your lips, you want to sort of overline them, but not too much, just so that your lips look nice, plump, and full. You don't want to use a lip liner that is too dark, because when it's too dark, it looks like it shows up on your lips as a lip liner. So as you guys can see on this side, I've overlined my top lip, and you can definitely see that I've overlined it. This does not look natural. People will be able to see that overline on the lips and they can tell that you've lifted up that lip liner all the way at the top. Now at the bottom, you can overline it, but make sure that the overline does not show clearly. And that's why I say it's better for you to use a lip liner that's closer to the color of your lips, maybe a little bit darker, but you definitely don't want to use one that is way too dark. So instead, on this side, I'm going to use this Morphe lip liner in the shade Trendsetter. The one I use on this side is in the shade Richie, which is darker than this one right here. So what I like to do is I like to take the lip liner and overline my bottom lips only. And when I'm overlining it, I don't bring it all the way down here. I kind of stop where my lips end and I just slightly bring it down a little bit. And then for my top lips, I don't like overlining my top lips because I don't want my top lips to be big. I only want my bottom lip to be nice and full. All right, last but not least, we have mistake number 8. And mistake number 8 is applying a matte lipstick on dry lips. Okay, matte lipsticks for a long time have not been my favorite because they get too dry. But I realized the reason why they get so dry on my lips is because I don't moisturize my lips before applying it. I usually have lip gloss on all throughout the process because that allows my lips to get a little bit of moisture before I go in with a matte lipstick. So when you are going in with a matte lipstick, make sure that you've moisturized your lips for a little bit. Maybe you've exfoliated them and your lips are nice and moist. If your lips are dry and you apply a matte lipstick on top of dry lips, they will be very dry and your lips will start cracking, forming lines on them. And to be honest, you're just not going to be a fan of matte lipsticks. Instead, what you want to do is you want to use a little bit of any type of lip moisturizer. Place a little bit on your lip and you just kind of want to spread that through and make sure your lips are getting a little bit of moisture. Then you can go in with the matte lipstick. So as you can see, this side is more moisturizing. It definitely feels more comfortable on my lips. and it doesn't feel like it's too dry. And like I have on lipstick, this side feels really dry, and as you can see right here, there's patches. You can see that it's going to start cracking really quick. The lip liner that I use for lining my lips has a little bit of moisture, so as you guys can see, the moisture is literally just peeking right where that lip liner is. If it wasn't for the moisture on the lip liner, I definitely would feel like my lips are super dry. So you definitely want to apply some form of moisturizer on your lips before applying a matte lipstick. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. These are the common makeup mistakes that I wanted to share with you guys and how to avoid them. This side just looks so much softer and definitely looks a little bit more realistic than this side. Some of these mistakes are mistakes that I made when I was first starting to do makeup, so I really hope it was helpful for some of you guys. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a big thumbs up. Also subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to have you on the LJ family. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram to keep up with the giveaway for the next couple of weeks, and also check out my next video over here. This video I show you guys how to naturally lift your face with only makeup, no Botox or filters. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next video.
KLJ, welcome to a channel where it's poppin'.